And that's the game, a shaky 2-0 win for Real Madrid over Getafe at the Bernabeu. And I have some mixed feelings about this performance because the way that we started off this game, that first half, we were on fire. Everybody looked good. The whole team was cooking. I had no complaints. But then the second half came, and we just fell off massively. And while I am happy to pick up 3 points because this was a must-win game, it doesn't mean that I'm happy with what I saw in that second half because I think we're very lucky to keep a clean sheet, right? Getafe could have gotten 2 goals. We had to rely on the post to bail us out twice. So there's a bunch of things to get into, but nonetheless, 3 points is what really mattered, and we got that today. Now, Real Madrid control their own destiny, right? Barcelona have fucked up in their last 3 games. They lost twice, they've drawn once. And now, we sit in second place, 1 point behind Barcelona with a game in hand. So if we keep on winning, then we will go top of La Liga. We no longer need to rely on other teams. We just have to focus on what we are doing. And this performance had the opportunity to be the best of the season until we just died in the second half. But let's talk about a few things because Carlo Ancelotti, I think, got it right today. But I do have some smoke for him as well. And I did see Rudiger limping. This guy Rudiger better not be injured. Because if Rudiger is injured, we are going to have to start Raul Asensio and Jesus Vallejo against Bilbao. And I'm going to lose my mind. Because we should have brought in Sergio Ramos over the international break to have in the squad. We have no center backs. I'm hoping that me seeing Rudiger limping was just him trying to walk off a little knock. So we got to keep an eye on that. But chat, let's get into it, right? First off, Jude Bellingham, man of the match. What a player. What a performance. Jude master class. Come on now, chat. There's no coincidence, right? That when Jude comes off at halftime, in the second half, we fall off. Jude was boss in the game. He took his penalty well, got the assist for Mbappe. He was everywhere. He was involved in the defense. He was involved in the build-up. Jude is a top player. When people try and disrespect him, I hear a lot of people talk about Jude Bellingham is not one of the best midfielders in the world. He's not Real Madrid's one of their best midfielders. They disrespect this guy. He is a very good player. And you see how important he is for us. Now, he got subbed off in the second half because he felt dizzy, right? There was a point in the first half where we tried to put the ball into the box for him, and Getafe's keeper ran out and punched it, but he elbowed Jude in the back of the head. So he may be dealing with a concussion. That's something that we have to keep an eye on because concussions are hard to shake off. So there is a possibility that we see him not available against Atletico Bilbao. And we don't need that. Like, we need Jude out there because that game against Bilbao coming up is a big game. It's a big game. But he was my man of the match, the best player on the pitch. That's how you boss a midfield and take control of the game. If it was not for the performance that Jude Bellingham had out there, I do not know if we win this game. I'm going to be real with you. Seeing how we died in that second half, if it was not for the brilliance of Jude Bellingham in the opening 45 minutes, is there any guarantee that we pick up 3 points today? I think our starting 11 was a good one. Rodrigo came back from injury, and I think even Dani Ceballos in that first half played very well. Valverde looked good. Raul Asensio, again, another solid performance. This kid is a gem. If Raul Asensio came from La Masia, and if he was playing for Barcelona, everybody would be sucking him off. But because Real Madrid's academy doesn't have that same level of PR, he's going underneath the radar. No, us Real Madrid fans, we know how good of a player Raul Asensio is. Another good performance. To be honest, since Asensio's been in the team, he has looked better than Rudiger. Because Rudiger today was shaky again. Rudiger almost allowed them to score their first goal. The shot that hit off the post the first time. I don't know what's going on with Rudiger's levels, but he has to step it up. Fran Garcia played well today, right? I think our midfield and our defense, that first half, fantastic. Fantastic. I wish that they were able to keep it up. But I want to talk about Mbappe. I think Mbappe had one of his better performances for us, right? This is arguably the second best game that he's played. The first one was Alaves. Alaves, he cooked. This game, he played well. But there's still things that I'm noticing he's not doing. Like in possession, right? He is wasteful. His passing is not the best. He loses possessions. His step overs are not effective. And he should have scored more than one goal. By the way, the goal that he scored today, what a strike from outside the box. That is the Mbappe that I know. That is the Mbappe that I want to see more of. That is the Mbappe that scored a hat trick in the World Cup final. That is the Mbappe that is top 10 in Champions League goal scoring. That finish was nice. But aside from that, his finishing was poor today. Mbappe should have had at least a brace. Because if this was Mbappe from 2-3 years ago, with the chances that he had today, my guy might have had 3-4 goals. So his shooting is still poor, right? His decision-making is still a bit poor, but he was involved in a lot of what we were doing going forward. And I think today was a positive performance from him. I just need his shooting boots to come back very quickly. But Mbappe was impactful. He wasn't great today, solid. And that just shows you kind of how much his performances have dropped off. Because this was not a standard Mbappe performance, right? I'm used to seeing Mbappe go out there and bagging for fun. But that didn't happen today. Nonetheless, that goal that he scored, and by the way, that pass from Jude Bellingham, oh my days. What a pass, what a ball. The weight of touch on that pass, the run that Mbappe made, the way that he was able to cut off the defender to create space for himself. That is what we need to see more of from Mbappe. There's a lot of pressure on him. And I'm telling you, chat, he will come good for us. Everybody is talking about this player as if he's awful. Mbappe is not a bad player. He's just struggling with his form right now. But trust me, once his confidence picks back up, it's over. Because his confidence, I'm telling you guys, Mbappe will come good for us. I think second half, awful. Awful. To be honest, Getafe should have gotten at least one goal. And the fact that they were so close to scoring really pisses me off. It really does. Because Getafe in 15 games now have only scored 10 goals. Why the hell should they be coming to the Bernabeu and looking like they're going to score against us? They don't score against anybody else. So they should not. This is a game that we had to keep a clean sheet in. There's a reason why Getafe are sitting down there at 17th. They don't score enough goals. And to be honest, before this game, right, their defensive record was not bad. Getafe, before we scored 2, they only conceded 11 goals in the season. They conceded as many goals as we have. But the difference is their attack is ass. So why am I seeing them create big chances against us? That's ridiculous. In that first half, Thibaut Courtois had nothing to do. And then we started off the second half very well. The opening 10 minutes of the second half, we were cooking. We almost got a third goal. But then as the game went on, it seems like the players just took a step back. It seems like they took their foot off the gas. Why? Why? We had the chance to go out there and give Getafe a biblical ass whipping. We could have scored 5 or 6 goals today if we would have kept the same level of intensity that we had in that first half. But we didn't do that. Arda Guler got subbed on for Jude at halftime. I think he was okay today. I expect more from Arda. A player that I rate that highly, a player that I tell you guys is a generational talent, I expect him to put in a better performance than what I saw. He did some things well, right? He was good on the ball, a little bit involved in the build-up, but he didn't look threatening at all. It didn't look like Arda was going to make a decisive pass. It didn't look like he was going to score a goal. Just overall, okay. Not as good as I thought that he would be. I was very happy to see, but look, regardless, Arda needs more minutes. I was very happy to see him get 45 minutes underneath his belt. Now, where my issue is, Endrick, no minutes. How is Endrick not getting any minutes against a 17th place team? We're up 2-0. And I know that in the second half, we didn't play that well, but you're telling me that Endrick cannot get any minutes today? If Endrick can't play against Getafe, then Carlo Ancelotti, tell us when can he play? When can Endrick play? Because it doesn't get much lower than them. So you might as well loan him out. If I'm Endrick, I'm considering going on loan. That's what I would be doing. Because if I'm not going to play today, then what's the point? 0 minutes for Endrick. Rodrigo was injured today. He came back from injury early. But you bring on Luka Modric instead? Give Luka a rest. Luka does not have to play every single game. It's okay. There's no reason for Luka Modric to have gotten minutes before Endrick in this game. Now, I get why you bring on Luka Modric, right? Because he's a player that's going to be able to slow down the game. So I get it. But Endrick deserves minutes. You are going to stunt his development if you do not play him more. There's no reason for Endrick in games like this to not be seeing the pitch. That is the one complaint that I have for Carlo. But I think overall, the game plan was good. I think the starting 11 was good. I didn't think that Rodrigo would come back and start. I thought that Rodrigo would come off the bench. I didn't expect, so that threw me off. But overall, I got to give Carlo some credit. But not playing Endrick, I think, is a massive mistake. This kid is a serious baller. He has a lot of potential, and he's not going to reach that potential if he's watching games from the sideline. And a team like Getafe, a bottom half team that's right around relegation, this is a game where you're supposed to be giving him minutes. Because you're not going to give him minutes in the Champions League like that. You're not going to give him minutes when we're playing the better teams. So you got to find a way to give him minutes in games like this. He can make an impact. Any single time, Endrick, more times than not, when he gets his little chances, he's usually effective. He's usually in and around. So come on, Carlo. But overall, I'd say very good first half, very mid second half. Overall, decent game. I think it could have looked a lot better. But we're very lucky to keep a clean sheet. Getafe definitely did have. They didn't have a lot of chances, but they had some very good chances. Courtois had to make a big save as well, and it hit the post twice. So, it is what it is. But for me, Jude Bellingham, man of the match. I think that they gave it to Mbappe. But for me, you can clearly see how the levels dropped after Jude was taken off. Now, I want to just show you guys a few things before we do end this, right? And I want you to get in the comment section and let me know, who was your man of the match? Now, I want to look at the positioning real quick. So, here's how the positioning looked for us. Now, we checked this at halftime, and it looked a lot different during the half. But I'm not that happy with what I'm seeing here, because look at where Brahim's positioning is, right? So Mbappe was obviously going to play on the left with no Vinicius there. And then Rodrigo was more in like the middle as the false nine. But why is Brahim so inwards and so deep? Like, why is Brahim not more out wide? Why? Basically, the right side of our attack today was non-existent. Look at Brahim's positioning. Also, look at Jude's positioning, right? Why is Jude so deep? We all know that Jude is better when he's a little bit higher up the pitch. Now, he did have a great game today. Again, man of the match. So I'm not complaining. But the way that our average positioning looks is because, as I said, during halftime, this looked a lot different because we played so well. But since we were kind of getting outplayed by Getafe in that second half, right? Everybody now has to drop deep. effectively, we only had 3 players above the halfway line, and that because of that second half. Now, if I show the substitutions, look at where Arda played. Barely. Arda was barely ahead of the halfway line. Again, because we were on the back foot. And what's so crazy is we're second half FC. So why is that something that's ever happening to us? It shouldn't. The second half is our bread and butter, right? And lately, we have been picking it up with the first half performances. So I'm very happy with that. But now we have to find a way to play well for 90 minutes. I need to see, like, Osasuna, that game, for example, the best game we played all season. We cooked for 94 minutes. We need to see that more consistently. But here is the La Liga table. As I said, we are sitting in second with a game in hand. We control our own destiny. Barcelona, thank you for your incompetence. Thank you for letting us get back into the game, back into the title race. You guys fumbled the La Liga title in October. Everybody crowned Barcelona the La Liga winners in October. I never seen the title be won in October, but it is what it is. We are now in control of our own destiny, and I do expect the boys to build from this performance because the first half, there were a lot of positives, but we need to keep our eye on Rudiger because I'm telling you, if this guy is injured, I will snap. He's literally the one player that we cannot afford to be injured. We can't because we don't have any other center backs. Literally. They might have to bring me or you out there to play center back. The board did not do enough. The board did not do what was required in the summer window. And now, injury crisis after injury crisis after injury crisis. Also, another reason that Carlo has to hold smoke is because you only made 2 subs. Only 2 subs. Real Madrid, this is a fact. Real Madrid are the team that use their subs the least in La Liga. That's not good. Because we have players on the bench that can make an impact. Carlo, I believe this needs to be your last season. But don't make it a long season, bro. Start rotating more. Come on, man. Anyways, guys, smash that like button. Get in the chat. Let me know what you guys think about the game. Who was your man of the match? Let me know some things that you liked and you did not like, right? Big up every single time. Subscribe. Turn on those post notifications. Holla Madrid.
Yeah.